Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Kitten Hero, going for the So Fluffy achievement. This is to rescue 7 kittens. There's going to be a total of 9 in the first chapter. We're just going to go for the first 7 since they're going to be the simplest to get. First one is going to be in level 5. It's going to be right here just above us. We're going to need to platform up. Make sure you wall jump up twice and then get onto this platform. Then make sure you use your dash to get up here. Make sure you dash across the spikes and then grab the kitten. Once you grab the kitten, it's going to turn into a bubble, Yoshi's Island style. We are going to need to carry it with us to the end of the level in order for it to count. So make sure you dash back and then slide down here and then wall jump up to get to the second half of this level. Once you get to the second half, you're going to get your checkpoint. The checkpoint is going to save your kitten. So even if you do die after this, you should be able to keep the kitten. Dash across, grab the key along the way, and then make sure you slot it right here and then drop down. One last dash to get into the finish line, and then once we load into the next level with our kitten bubble, we should be good for our first rescue. There's the achievement for getting 1 kitten. It's going to be my hero for 90 gamer score. Moving on to kitten number 2, this one's going to be done in level 7, so make sure you load that one up. This one's going to also be directly above us. Make sure you use a sequence of wall jumps and a dash to get up here. Grab the kitten out of the alcove, and then it's time to move on with the level. We're going to have to wait until the moving platform gets over here to the left, so make sure you be patient with this one. Once it arrives, make sure you just ride it across, and then once it gets to almost the end, we're going to do a sequence of wall jumps to get up to the upper right of the level. Make sure you use a jump and a dash to get across, and then hit up the checkpoint. Then we're going to have the second half of the level. Make sure you drop down, do a dash, and then make sure you do a small wall jump to get the key. Then we're going to need to wait for this moving platform. As you can see, we're going to need to avoid the spikes in the middle, so make sure you jump and then avoid that. Catch yourself on the moving platform and then duck under this platform. Then we're going to need to do a wall jump and then a diagonal dash to get up here. Dash across this set of spikes, slot the key, and then make sure you just dash back and then jump and dash to get into the finish line, and that should get us our second kitten. In addition to these achievements, we also get hats along the way for rescuing kittens, so feel free to apply those if you care about them. Nonetheless, kitten number 3 is going to be found on level 10. We're going to start out right here in this column, wall jump up, and then get up here. Then we're going to have this moving platform we need to get across. Make sure you jump and then time it to get over this laser block. Then we're going to get off here. We're going to take a dip down this detour and then get the kitten right here on this ledge. Make sure you do a big diagonal dash and then get into this ledge and then grab the kitten, and then make sure you wall jump to get back to where we need to get going. Do a bunch of small hops and dashes to get across these lasers, and then make sure you get into the second half of the level. We're going to have this set of moving platforms. Make sure you try to time your jumps to get over the laser blocks. Then make sure you get up here. Then we're going to need to do a big dash to get over this set of spikes, so make sure you try to do that and then slide on down. Once we're here, straight jump up and then diagonal dash or wall jump to get the key. Once you have this, we're going to have this set of moving platforms right here we need to take across to get past the laser. Once you get to safety, drop down and then just make sure you head back to the first half of the level where the door actually is. Slot the key, open up that finish line, and then cross on through. With 3 kittens in our collection, we should be good for the next achievement in the set. This one's going to be a pile of cats for another 90 gamer score. Moving on to kitten number 4, this one's going to be found on level 12. This one's going to be the first kitten that's going to appear in the second half of the level, so we're going to need to clear the first half first. We're going to be introduced to this thing, which is basically going to refresh our dash, so make sure you dash into it, which is going to give you a second dash so you can get across the bigger set of spikes. Dip down here and then take the elevator up, and then we're going to move on to the second half. Now, unfortunately, with these kittens that appear in the second halves of levels, you are going to get the checkpoint before you rescue them. So if you happen to die after picking up the kitten and respawn at the checkpoint, you're going to need to re-grab the kitten. Nonetheless, this one's going to be pretty simple. Just drop down here and then do a series of short hops and dashes to get past the lasers. Grab the kitten and then just make sure you take the same way in reverse back. And then just make sure you wall jump back up and continue the level as you normally would. Make sure you time the bullets here. We're going to need to drop down on the left. Try not to stay on the wall slide too long because you are going to get hit by the bullets. Then we're going to need to time the bullets and then grab the key right here on the left side, and then we're going to need to make our way back. Again, make sure you take your time and make sure you are crossing whenever it's safe to do so, and then make sure you slot the key right here in the right side, and then just wall jump straight up and then off to the finish line you go, and that should take care of another kitten and get you another hat. Moving on to kitty number 5. This one's going to be found all the way in level 15, so make sure you get this far. Once you are here, we're going to start out right here on the left side. Kitten's going to be up there on the right side. Wall jump up here to this platform. Then we're going to need to do a wall jump when the saw is down, then a diagonal dash to get up here. Make sure you slide down here, watch the lasers and the 2 saw blades. You have a little bit of a blind spot right here where you can catch your breath, but do a jump and a dash to get over that saw blade. You can either wall jump or use the dash refreshes to get up here. Make sure you mine the saw blade, grab the key, and then slide to the left to grab the kitten. Then you're going to need to take this dangerous path down, slide between the spikes, and then hopefully you can skip the saw blade by just grazing past it. Once you're here, make sure you hit up the checkpoint, and then we're going to mine the bullets. Diagonal dash to get onto this block, then a big ol' dash to get across this giant gap of spikes. Wait until the saw blade is going down, and then you're going to need to do a series of wall jumps and a dash to get over here. Slot the key, then you're going to need to use these dash refreshes to get across the laser field. Make your first jump pretty high so you can get the height clearance right, and then make sure you get to the finish line, and then that should set you up for the 5th kitten rescue. There's the kitten in a bubble achievement for a 90 gamer score. Moving on to the penultimate kitten for these achievements anyways. Kitten number 6 is going to be found on level 16. Start out by wall jumping and diagonal dashing right here between the 2 saw blades. You are able to land up here. Straight dash across. You're going to have a tutorial that's going to teach you how to drop down on these platforms. Just hit the B button to drop straight down. Then we're going to dash over this saw blade, then a series of wall jumps to get up here. Big diagonal dash to get up here. I'm going to highly recommend that you move on to the next screen and get the checkpoint and then come back for the kitten so we don't have to repeat that part if we do miss this jump. Watch out for the small saw blade right here. Run across, grab the kitten, and then when it's safe to do so, make sure you head back to the next screen. We're going to do this series of drop downs. Make sure you are alternating whenever the spikes are directly beneath you. And then once you get to the bottom, we're going to jump over this saw blade, grab the key, slot it right here, and then we're going to need to get up here, wait for the bullets, and then get to the bottom right of the level, diagonal dash up, and then do a series of diagonal dashes to get up here. Big dash to get across the bullet line, and then hit up the finish, and that should get you kitten number 6 and the hat that goes along with it. Then the last one we're going to need for the achievement is going to be done on level 17. There are going to be another 2 that you can also use for the achievement, but this is going to be where we get our 7th one. So start out right here. We're going to have this homage to Quick Man from Mega Man 2, so make sure you get across these. Obviously, best case scenario is to just wait for the bullet to shoot and then drop down, and then we're going to get down here towards the bottom. Be quick on your feet and then get to this area right here. Make sure you dash up. You have a safe spot right here on the 2nd layer, so make sure you take advantage of that. The saw blade shouldn't reach you. When it's safe to do so, make sure you go straight up and then grab the key, then dash straight down to get to the bottom one. Then quickly get over here. I'm going to recommend starting out on the left and then wall jumping all the way up. And then if you manage to make it to the 2nd screen, our kitten's going to be in the bottom right. So we're going to have this series of jumps. Ignore that. Just take the bottom path and mine the saw blades. Way easier to deal with this. Make sure you slot the key right here, and then we're going to wait for this saw blade to get out of the way. Then we're going to do a series of drop downs right here and then get to the bottom right. Very easy. Straight jump up and then a dash to get into where the cat is. Make sure you rescue it, and then it's going to be on to the finish line. So back the way we came, make sure you mine the spikes, and then make sure you try to get up here when you have a dead zone. Then we're going to wait here and then get back, and again we're going to take the lower path as it's going to be way safer to do that than trying to jump. And then once we have a clearing, we're just going to slide down here, take advantage of this dead zone. Then we're going to wait till the saw blade is going to be passable, jump and dash to get across, and then off to the finish line. Once we load into the next level with all 7 kittens in hand, we should be good for the last rescue achievement. There it is, so fluffy, 100 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.